Hello everyone, this is LW Gaming and welcome to a brand new installment of Future Langrisser. Today's video we're going to talk about the next global major update for the upcoming week. And this one is going to be the update featuring Sovereign of the Ice Abyss, or also known as Ice Melta to many players. So anyways, let's get right into what Ice Abyss does. So let's take a look at what her talent is and what skills she has. And keep in mind that some of the names that the skill I'm going to display are in fact roughly translated from Chinese. So anything you see here might not be the same as in the global version. So keep that in mind. But however, the description will remain the same. The only thing that's going to be different is the names of the skills. So anyways, let's get right into it. So anyways, here is her talents here. So anyways, this is the first hero to be an LLR, and her factions will be Empire, Strategic, and Time. So you might be thinking, why is she part of Time? Well, she basically traveled through different time rifts here, so kind of makes sense though in some scenarios. So anyways, in her class, she begins as a mage, but however, when you upgrade her to the final route, like final class tree, she'll either be a cavalry or flyer. They both are pretty good in different situations. So yeah, for cavalry, she is actually like really great in some maps. Like I would say like most maps, of course. But as a flyer for PVE, I will probably say that she might need to be mindful of archers. Same can be applied with PvP if your opponent has something to take care of flying units. Anyways, her talent, Queen of the Frigid Abyss, and this name is confirmed to be in the global version, so yep, that's actually pretty nice to know what kind of name they will give her. And her talent basically make her damage deal 10 to 25% more damage, and also she is not affected by melee damage penalty, so that means that even though she is close combating as a mage, she doesn't have to worry about her damage being reduced when she's too close. And then after taking action, she can choose two allies to like inflict like a friendly damage just a little bit to them, and then apply chain whip to them, which makes their offensive ability like stronger, of course, for 2 turns. And those buffs cannot be dispelled. So even if your opponent tries to dispel them, it's not going to work. This effect can be triggered again after 3 to 2 turns, depending on the star level. And then after dealing damage with an active attack, applies Bone Chilling Cold to the enemy. And this debuff cannot be stopped, so that means immunity will not work, and also you cannot dispel it once you got it. So yeah, if you think about Rosensteel could prevent that, think again. It's not gonna work. So anyways, the Bone Chilling Cold debuff is like if affected by this effect again during its duration, that target will receive freeze, and this one basically stuns the target for 1 turn. And also while at that effect, and also when engaging in battle with her, all stats excluding HP minus 20%, which is pretty dangerous, don't you think? Like if you're fighting against Sovereign of the Ice Abyss, like while in a freeze status, yeah, or actually in a bone chilling cold debuff status, yeah, you can already tell that this is gonna make you really weak against her. So be careful when you fighting her because she will give you a cold shoulder or chill to your bones, like literally. When an enemy with a bone chilling cold dies, all skill cooldowns are reduced by 2 turns, which makes her insane already. And the whip chain effect is an assist skill. And this one does like a AoE damage to 2 allies that you chose, and also applies the chain whip to them, which and that's an excellent explanation of what kind of buffs are they getting. So basically, the damage dealt, fixed damage, crit damage, and attack and skill are increased by 10%. And like I said earlier, this cannot be dispelled, and this will last for 2 turns. And I think that's about it for the talent. So hopefully this is a short and sweet one. So anyways, let's move on to the skills. That's what she comes with. And once again, disclaimer: those names might not be the same as what is shown in global. So take this as an acknowledgement of what they do, rather than like the actual names for those skills. Because that's not the whole point here. The whole point is that what those skills, how do they work? So, anyways, the 1C skill is the grappling part. Basically, she can use it either to pull herself towards the enemy that you choose, or you can grapple the enemy towards yourself. So yeah, it works either way. So depending on what kind of situation you're in. So if you really want to pull someone out of the range of like a tank, for example, you're gonna need to use the pull mechanic. But if you really want to grab yourself towards the enemy much quicker, you're gonna need to use the thing to pull yourself towards them. So that way, you can get there much easier. And also, after actually wait, this is just a pull effect. So there's no act again on this one. So yeah, basically it does a little damage when you pull them, of course, which like any typical grappler would do. And she has a 2C skill, which is the one that does like a single target damage that deals 1.6 times damage. And the target has bone chilling cold debuff. For some reason, I didn't even change that, but anyways, that's the same debuff that I showed in the talent. The Ice Mona will in fact attack first before the enemy during combat, which is nuts because there's a possibility that your Ice Mona will kill the enemy unscathed, which is pretty strong, don't you think? And also, if you have melee soldiers, they will also attack. So this is a range attack skill. So yeah, even though yeah, like you can imagine that Ice Moda is gonna be nuts out there. So like not only like those classes, despite being melee kind of thing, she is actually in fact ranged, which honestly it sounds pretty strong on paper. But anyways, this is actually nothing new because I know Altina, even though she's an SR unit, but anyways, I think she is probably in fact the first unit to be ranged by default. But I think this is the other hero that might have that has like a range capability despite it. No, actually no, I lied. There are other range units that has like long legs. Like I would say Tiaris and also maybe Mystery Knight as well. So, anyways, moving on. Actually, wait, I haven't finished talking about what this does. So, when the enemy is killed successfully, which in most cases is possible, it will cast two more of those bone chilling cold debuff on two closest enemies, which is which is something like pretty which makes her even more of a threat out there in PvP. So yeah, you can already tell that her 2C combined with her 1C is a pretty strong combination. But what's even stronger is her 3C. So her 3C has two versions, just like Apotheosis. So the first one is called Power Over the Icy Abyss. So once again, this might not be called like that in the global version, but this is just an idea. So basically, her passive component is that the damage dealt that you do on the chain whip would like deal zero damage, which is like an immunity, fixed damage immunity. And after use, you only attack an in plus 20% for 2 turns, which is pretty nice. And then and also the damage part is a magic damage. Attacks all enemies in 3 straight lines, 6 blocks long, dealing 0.3 times AoE damage. And this also teleports herself and allies that has chain whip on them in 3 surrounding blocks to the furthest range of the skill. So basically, you can warp them from their current position all the way to the furthest skill range, which is the one part I was talking about when it comes to like a turn one clear for joint battles. Yeah, that is the thing that you do to like teleport certain units. So this also works on NPCs, which are a bit surprising because usually teleports don't work on NPCs, but in Ismoda's case, you could in fact do that as long as Angelica is possessing the chain whip effect. And also this is the AoE damage, of course, and also she'll create some kind of a icicle terrain that will last for one turn on an empty block, like randomly, of course. And also when the enemy unit passes through those things, they will receive fixed damage equal to the 1.5 times of Ice Abyss int, and this cannot be immune against. And then you will receive Bone Chilling Cold after that. So and also while you're in this effect, you will get slowed down by like a. But it's kind of like you're walking on water, but you pretty much have frozen legs. So like basically you'll consume an additional one ability point when you're moving, and then after this is done, this skill will be changed to a second 3C, which is the Cold Abyss Ice Prison. And then the passive will be the same as above, but this one is actually a full-on AoE on herself that does like it's pretty much the same thing, but it's 3 blocks radius around herself. And then and also what's even more of a threat is that this 3C gains the command effect, which basically prevents enemies from benefiting the act again effects. So that means that if they want to use chivalry while they are under this effect, then they can't move after that, which basically gives them like make them feel wasted when it comes to act agains. And then this will only affect as if they are doing that within 3 tiles. So you could imagine that some units are going to have a hard time reaching her. Like for example, Leon. Leon is going to have a hard time reaching her because after using chivalry, if he is too close to her range, you could imagine that Leon won't be able to move after that. So yeah, but however, this does not always the case. This does not always like a thing in some of the PvP maps, because there's some maps that actually lets Leon traverse further if you have the mechanical knights. Those ones do in fact give him more mobility. So yeah, this might not hurt him much on some maps that has like terrains that are considered defensive. Anyways, after using this skill, this becomes the first 3C. So yeah, basically it's switching the first one to second and then second to first. You'll know when you begin to use her. But of course, if you want to summon, well, of course you're gonna need to summon for her because she is really nice to have. Like she can help you out in both PvE and PvP. Yep, it's actually like best of both worlds. Anyways, moving on, let's talk about some stuff that are very, very important here, which are the banners. So anyways, first off, let's talk about the first week. This will feature, of course, Ice Moda as the main feature of this banner. And of course, there's going to be a Divine Wish banner alongside that, and this will include all the heroes up until Andrew and Lemia. And I'm not too sure how long is this duration is going to be, because sometimes Zilong will like to release those banners with a different amount of time duration for them. Well, we're not sure if they're actually going to be there at the exact time. Like Zilong likes to shake things up by changing things around. Like they've been doing this on most of the anniversary updates. So yeah, you're gonna take this as an idea rather than just like a speculation of like what banners are coming, what banners are not. So anyways, this will begin on the 5th of, not 5th, the 23rd of May, all the way to June 26th. On week 2, we have 3 more of those previous limited time banners, such as Apotheosis, Awaken One, and Watham. And then there's a radar banner for Z2 and Granshio, starting on the 30th of May, all the way to 12th of June. And then on week 3, we have the Destiny banner for Dank Elmo, Transcender, and Tormilk. And then both of those Wish banners for Langrisser 1, 2, and 3, and Langrisser 4 and 5, beginning on the 6th of June all the way to the 19th of June. And on week 4, we have the Valentine's banner. This will feature 4 different ones. Like the first group is Werner and Mariandel. Second group is Roland and Prezia. Roland and Prezia. Third group is Azusa and Aboro. And the fourth group is Rosensteel and Clotaire, beginning on the 13th of June all the way to the 26th of June, which is the end of the major update. And then finally on the fifth week, well, yes, of course, that's right. I forgot to mention that this major update might have 5 weeks duration, but Xenon could change things up. They have been doing some weird stuff when it comes to scheduling because in case haven't noticed that in the Andrio and Nemia update, they shortened the duration on that one from 4 weeks to 3, which honestly is a bit odd, but I don't know. I guess they want to roll out the updates as fast as possible, but I don't know. This could kind of mess up our saving schedule, but we endured. Anyways, on the fifth week will include 2 Destiny banners featuring Lightbringer, Ricky, and Caroline. The second one is the classic of Liana, Luna, and Bozel, beginning on the 20th of June, all the way to the 3rd of July. Well, kind of funny if I say 4th of July, but anyways, the 3rd of July. Anyways, what do you think of this banner lineup? It looks pretty solid so far. Alright, moving on. This is going to be a doozy. And I mean it. Like, look at this. Since this is a 5.5 anniversary update, there's going to be a lot of stuff we're going to need to talk about. So, anyways, there's going to be a new Eternal Forge event, which will feature 4 new equipments coming to the game. And there's going to be New Year joint battle events as well. And then there's also a special enchant system that's going to be in place. But however, I kind of wish that this is a permanent feature, but they decided to keep it as a limited event, which is a bit unfortunate. But hey, at least we got something that we can use to ease off our RNG's curse, you know. And then hear this out. This is actually entirely new. Well, of course, we got something similar to this, but this time around, instead of being 2 Executed Fates, we're getting a triple one instead. Like, holy moly! Basically means you get to like shard up more than 6 characters at once. Which, if it's not insane enough, it is insane actually. That means with this event, you get to shard up to nine heroes daily. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like 27 chances. Like, holy moly! I don't think we have anything like that before, but it's nice to see it coming. And of course, there's going to be a hero pack coming to the game in this update, and this will include all the heroes that are of course non collab and also non-limited, all the way up until the update of Patricia and Goon. So yeah, I'll definitely pick this up, and I'm thinking about getting Goon because I've been using Patricia lately, and I've been thinking, if I can get her attack one unlocked somehow, I could probably use her in a lot of the content because she is pretty fun to use. Not gonna lie, she's kind of she basically plays as Sagani, but even though I never own Sagani, this is actually roughly an idea. Like, I could in fact use her in Apex if I wanted to, but right now she'll be benched until she is capable of doing some stuff for me. And there's gonna be lots of Secret Realm promo events and also some Floating Realm events as well. So anyways, the Secret Realm promo events will include Anarchy stages open for all of them, the Way of Laws stages opening, and also the Secret Realm Revival one will basically increasing the daily chances, etc., etc., that kind of stuff. And also there will be some improvements for some daily missions as well, like where you will get Trinity vouchers every day when we clear it, which is something we already got right now, but it will go away eventually. And kind of surprising they bring this back too so soon. And then and also the phenomenon, you already knew what's that gonna be. It's basically a boost for your entire Floating Realm stuff, like productions, anything actually. And then there really isn't much of a like changes that's going to be happening in the game. But however, they did introduce a new LR rarity, which will be treated as an SSR in most contents. So yeah, you don't have to get your heads in the mix here because some people might get confused of how is that going to work. Well, don't worry, they'll be treating her as an SSR. So yeah, you don't have to worry about that part. Which yep. Anyways, moving forward, let's see what we got here. So we got new confessions and exclusive. This time around we got Roland. The HP increased by 10%, and then when you switch forms, depending on which one it is, if you're on the edge of insight, and you'll be able to you'll gain 2 extra mobility for 1 turn if you do no damage. But if you had chastising light, He can move 2 blocks after attacking, which is pretty nice. And then the new confession this time is Ishin. I've been using her a lot lately in PvP, so it's kind of nice to see her have a confession. That also means we get to see her, see how much we have used her in the past few time when we are able to use her ever since the beginning of her release. All right, moving on. Let's talk about the new casting skills. I want to go through this as quick as possible because this I've been speaking in this video quite a long time, so I really wanted to get this video done as soon as possible. Anyways, IBC, also known as Iron Blood Commander, has like a 5% increase of int, and also basically her formation talent skills can be casted regardless if you have like a two units that are your allies on a specific tile. Now you don't really have to do that. All you need to have is at least one ally on like a formation. You can still cast that despite the lineup was not met, which is pretty interesting. And then we got the other one we have is Sage of the Trees. Basically, his dazzling light terrain. I mean his, not her. I'm sorry. For some reason didn't think this through. But anyways, the normal attacks will also be treated like if you're using a skill. It has a multiplier damage of 1.5 times when you're using a normal attack. And after attacking, this does like a healing effect on the dazzling light tiles. Of course, has to be your own. It doesn't work on enemies. Makes sense. And then Zerda's casting is interesting. Attack increased by 10%. And if Zerda has no soldiers by the end of action, she will act again. And the ability of that turn will be the remaining unused mobility plus the 3 mobility points. And I gotta say, Zerda is actually pretty strong with this casting. I don't know what you think about this, but wow, oh wow, Zerda is gonna be nuts out there. Like, I could already imagine. Could you imagine if Zerda has this casting with the 3C? Like, she can literally just do act again immediately. Like, holy moly. Yeah, you can already tell that she's gonna kill an enemy right off the bat. Well, depending on which enemy she's going after, because in most cases she'll go after squishy units, such as mages, for example, like a Dank Elmo, and any mages that on the enemy team that's fragile against a physical assassin. And finally, we have Iris or Iris, if you're Sakura Wars enthusiastics. Anyways, healing effects plus 10%. And then the Dream Kiss will have like a thing where it will dispel 2 debuffs on yourself by the end of action. So, which is pretty nice because if you've been cursed by so many debuffs on yourself, Iris is gonna help clear it out for you. Well, 2 at a time, of course. And also, before we go, there's a reminder we're going to talk about when it comes to the next major update after this one. The next major update is actually an important one when it comes to PvP. Because Tyrant Tail and Tower Breeze are coming. Well, the most important unit on one of those two is Tyrant Tail. He is in fact a beast out there. Like, he's a tank, and also he can be used as a offensive unit as well. So yeah, it's the best of both worlds again. And I kind of feel that he's gonna be like Bernhardt in some ways because based on how he looks. But anyways, what do you guys think? Do you want to use the resources on the Ice Melta, or you want to get Tarantel? But as for me, I'm gonna try to get both, and I think I have the resources to do so. So anyways, hope y'all find this video informative and good luck out there. You're gonna need as much resources as you need out there nowadays because there's lots of stuff we can need to talk about later on. Like that also includes the Bright Summoner coming at a later update. Well, of course, won't be now, but it'll be later on the line. Anyways, see y'all later.